Hey, how's it going? It's me, Lex, back at you with another video. Today is something a little bit different. Instead of like a mod pack or a tabletop thing, I'm going to be walking you through the Smith Summit. This is a vanilla Minecraft creators expo. They got a ton of booths all around. I spent the last 4 days exploring it with my partner. It's been an absolute blast. This video does have some vague points that I have set up that I'm going to be touching on as I go, but other than that I'm just going to be drinking a little bit, walking around, and talking. Let's hop on in. Alrighty, so this is the Smith Summit, and just as a reminder, one thing that I just kept being astonished by as I was going through the summit here is that all of this was accomplished with vanilla Minecraft and datapacks. The server is modded, but that's for technical reasons. Everything accomplished in the server is done with datapacks. They have some really cool various displays they have around vehicles, stuff like that. Couple of maps in 3 different thirds of the region. The whole server is set up on top of a big mountain with then some themed biomes around that have various projects. So if we head over here, the Patched Plateaus, this is my personal favorite section. They have it split up into different biomes within the third of Summit, and we can look down there and see some of it. Exciting stuff. I'll be heading down in a minute, but for now I'm going to introduce you to all of the different sections. We have the Welded Woodlands over here. This was my second favorite. It had roughly the same amount of stuff that I really liked, but it just ran a little worse than the Patch Plateaus did. There were some laggy spots, so I didn't get super engrossed in it. Although it is matching with my favorite aesthetic in Minecraft, which is the sort of snowy and taiga sort of setup. And then my least favorite, but that is not to say bad, is the Textured Tropics. It's a much more dry beach area. The main reason that I didn't like it was there's just a lot of minigame servers in this section, and those aren't something that I'm super interested in. So we're going to make our way through these regions, touching on some of my favorite booths, and talking about anything else that comes to mind, starting with the Patched Plateaus. I'm gonna miss that trolley. Oh, I definitely would have made that, actually. Alrighty, we'll hop on in. They have set up some public transit infrastructure. So there's these, whatever they're called. I know it's not trolley, because the trolley is what's down there. Gondola? The editing me put up on the screen what these things are called. But yeah, they come down the mountain. You can look up at the mountain or down at what you have to explore. Something that my partner pointed out is that these all the different public transit options, you can see the balloon there, all go somewhat slow, and that's something to appreciate and to be able to relish in. Public transit all around that takes its time and really relaxes, lets you appreciate the environment. Alrighty. Here we've arrived at the Patch Plateaus. Scare off those birds. So, the Patch Plateaus is comprised of the Clover Highlands, the Jacaranda Highlands, Jasonville, Patchport, the Meadows, Cherry Hills, and the Serotonal Fields, all around. And then we have a lighthouse. There's a trolley system that goes from one end of the region to another. a ferry that goes to the tropics, and a balloon that goes to the woodlands, which is actually right here. All of these regions have their own little information stations where you can pick up lost and found items and grab a themed shirt if you wanted to wear it around. I have all sorts of stuff in my various bundles from the different booths that I attended. And if you head down as well, they talk about some stuff. There are birds in each section that'll be around. You can walk into, they'll fly off. Here's the hot air balloon on a little display. It talks about it. And it also talks about how they made this section. So here they're talking about they had 3 different regions, and they wanted one warm, one cold, and put one in the temperate middle. And that was what the Patch Plateaus was, the temperate middle. And they used some flowers to liven up the color. I really love that you get little sort of windows into the development process all around. And there are plenty of spots to sit down, relax around the island. I'm not going to be digging too much into every little bit of text all around. Oh, and before I forget about it, there's a music team that put together music boxes all around. Again, all in vanilla Minecraft, just using datapacks. It's a lot of fun. There's the airplane. Maybe we'll catch it up above at one point. Alrighty, over here, this is the display for, what's it called? The datapack icons in the Clover Highlands. This was the first area that I and my partner went to, and it was what really got me in the mood, got me really excited for this whole expo. As you walk here, the spring charges up and you bounce, and the chest opens up. Usually it opens a little earlier. Server must be lagging. To catch you in. And there's all these little interactables. This gave you a badge. There's a sticker book where you can collect badges for all the different areas. And then it's just these nice little displays all around. Talking about, for these, I believe it's a VS Code extension that lets you add little icons onto your text in the sidebar when you're making folders and stuff like that. And they even set up a little interactable region here where you can browse through different file sorting systems and modify them. And then in the back you get a little window at all the developers. And as I was walking around this, I just kept having the thought of this is adorable, this is a blast. It's not something that I've really talked about on the channel, but I'm pretty physically disabled in real life, so I'm not able to go out much. And so this was sort of my first experience ever getting to go to a convention, and probably, even if I do end up getting to go to one in the future, this will probably still be the most enjoyable, because I get to just be at home in my controlled environment where I'm comfortable. I can take a break if I need to. Then there's a little walkout. And I finally got that sort of glimpse into oh, this is why people go to conventions. This is why people travel days, road trip, carpool, hole up in hotels and stuff like that to go to conventions, is that they can experience joys like this. And that was just a blast for me as I was walking through that with my partner and reading about something so simple but also so incredible, getting to see passionate people work on something that I care about. This is the NC Paint booth. It lets you paint. I ended up making this lovely trans heart flag and wearing it around for most of the expo until I ended up getting this crown, and then I wore that instead. And they even oh, of course, they even have downstairs for their little bit of the exhibition And you can put up your own paintings, although there's no way to get them back as far as I can tell. So I kept mine on me. Oh, here comes the trolley. And luckily it can't run you over, but it will make you lay down to hide underneath its wheels. One of my favorite things as I was going around the convention was all the different booths and how they set themselves up. So like we have a wacky arm tube guy over there for I believe it's a YouTuber. But then over here, one of my favorite things was these big like display entity blocky letters. When we get to the woodlands later, you'll get to see my favorite variation of this. I won't spoil it for now, but it's just, I don't know, there's something so pretty about it, using the Minecraft font, having it all big and rotating like that. It was a definite favorite for me. Oh, here's something I got real excited about. Nice Name is a YouTuber, and pretty much the only booth at the entire event that I actually recognized. Everything else was completely new to me. Nice Name makes like geology, Minecraft videos, and also Minecraft videos on like color theory and Minecraft data pack functions, stuff like that. And the booth that he set up is the geologic time display, where he's going through all of Earth's history in, geologically speaking, in like 8 minutes, I want to say, with these little display entity setups. Not to scale. It's real nerdy. In fact, the sticker book for it is, if I go through and find it, for watching the whole thing is called Nerding Out. Sitting there for the duration of Earth's existence. And if you do sit down, you put on the headset and you get this little information thing. You can zoom in. It's very cool. I want to wait for it to pop up. I believe it's using sound effects right now. There we go. It's like, for example, flipping over into the Proterozoic, which is starting at 43% of Earth's history when real plate tectonics start. Exciting stuff. I had a blast with this, although the badge actually did glitch for me, and I had to sit through it twice to get it, which I was not opposed to. I'm nerdy. So one thing that I found really cool was a solid number of the booths are sort of... Oh, there's the airplane I was talking about. A solid number of the booths are sort of, hey, what if this modded thing was in a data pack? And then they put, a little bit of their own spin on it. It's not just copy-pasting. That's the fairy. Crop and Kettle, then, is the Farmer's Delight sort of data pack. It adds various new crops. You can get corn and tomatoes and such. You cook things in these physical sort of mixing pots. So I'll make a grilled cheese, for example. I believe I need these, and yeah. So you'd mix some milk to make cheese, or to make butter, sorry. I believe you cook some milk to make cheese. Wheat and water makes dough, which you then cook to make bread. And once that's done, you combine butter, bread, and cheese to make a grilled cheese, which will pop right up in here. You can toss it here for your fellow... oh man, I keep forgetting, convention goers. There we go. But a lot of these booths also have some really, interesting secrets. One thing with the Craft and Kettle is they have a lot of recipes that are from different booths. So you go to the Finger Maps booth and you get their barramundi bucket, you can make the fish fingers. Or you go to the thorax booth and get their bug guts to make the bug burger. It was a lot of fun having this sort of cross compatibility between the different booths in this section of the map. I think that was definitely a personal highlight, was just like back and forth. Not to mention the crop and kettle booth has a lot going on. I'm not going to spoil its secrets, but I rescued Sourdough Boy, I found Mr. Kettle, I have a ritual dagger. I saw the back rooms of crop and kettle. Scary stuff. If there was a single booth that I spent the most amount of time at, it was probably the Grimwort booth here. It's pretty unassuming. It's a little, round building on the edge of the patched plateau. But you head on in and open the info book. It tells you, oh, you're here in the Arcanum. It's a magic library. It has some teleporting around. The reason that I got so pulled into it is because it has a speedrunning aspect. As you might have noticed right here from Meme Lol, having a minute 59:50 as the current record on this server shard, Birch. And so I spent a decent amount of time here getting my personal time down to a minute 47 seconds. But I discovered when I logged in the next day that whenever these server shards restart, it also clears your record. I was a little disappointed by that. It did let me down because I put so much time in because I wanted to be the best. I thought that would be fun. For old time's sake, though, I am going to give it one shot. I don't expect to be good, though. It's been 3 days since I did all the practice, but here we go. Whoa. Yeah, I'm already making some mistakes that I did not do before. But that's alright. There we go. Come on. Whoa. Me when the server is lagging. Oh, and I don't remember this, actually. I think it was... Actually, I need to bring this up again, because I do not recall what the... Ah, alright. Oh my gosh. Oh. There we go. Oh, and I do not have... you can see how this could be addicting, I believe. And then if I go out here... and out. Alrighty. And you can see how I got really sort of caught up in doing that over and over again. This was another personal favorite booth of mine, the data pack hub. I've dabbled in making data packs for myself, just little adjustments to vanilla Minecraft, things that I wanted changed. And this is a community built around helping people to make their data packs. They have a Discord server, They have documentation on their wiki, and I believe they have additional tools as well, though I don't use those. Yeah, a Discord helper, and some example text as well up here. One of those very simple things that, you know, it's an unassuming booth, but datapacks are what made the whole convention possible, so, you know, valuing them highly is something that I appreciate and something that I do myself. So if you've seen my raspberry flavored video, matcha flavored is a data pack that's similar, that I also quite like. If you see my raspberry flavored video, you know that I think that vanilla Minecraft, like its goals, what it's trying to do, by being like a sandbox that everyone can participate in at their own pace, is already like really great. My biggest issue is that I think Minecraft doesn't achieve its goals super well, because I think it sort of stops short of achieving a lot of them by refusing to change old mechanics. But that does mean that the data packs that I appreciate the most are things that just add to vanilla in a vanilla way. Despite really liking the Grimwort booth, I'm not a big fan of it as a data pack because it adds like usable trinkets, and that's something that I just feel doesn't really fit vanilla. But there were a lot of them around, data packs, that is, around the convention that do things that are similar to that. So Myriad here expands on archaeology and temples, Woodland Mansion, and they're working on an end update where it just expands stuff out in a very fitting manner. And that's something that I really appreciate. I sort of started working on a list of data packs that I found. Oh, sorry about that. I started working on a list of data packs that I wanted to play with as I was going through this, and they all ended up being stuff like this, where it's like additions to vanilla, modifications to vanilla, that are focused around still sort of achieving what vanilla is doing. This was another really fun booth, Minecraft Middle-earth. I actually attended one of their events, because the server does have events that go on. You can show up, attend, you have to join a voice chat to get voice, but you can still attend the events, and some of them are like visual. But this is just talking about a ongoing project to rebuild Middle-earth from The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit in Minecraft. I'm actually not the biggest fan of how they do it on their server, because they use a lot of custom models for like shaping geometry, and I've just always preferred vanilla geometry, like making the most out of it that you can. Like, I love the way they did the booth here, where everything is vanilla, but you can see they're using their data packs to add like rope bridges, little campfires, and like various archways and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with it, just not my taste. But I found it really cool walking over here, looking at this map, and it's like, oh yeah, they've built this massive portion of Middle-earth here. Various cities all around this much of the path of the Fellowship, etc. It's really interesting stuff, and they have some photos around of like various locations on their server. You can talk to the NPCs, but I just like looking at things. Here's the Gate of the Kings, or whatever it's called. Here's Minas Tirith, Sauron's Tower, and then all the way in the back you have Gandalf and the Balrog. Cute stuff. Ah, Moria. Definitely a favorite booth just to walk around in, because I think they did a great job with the vanilla blocks. Now, the Smith Summit doesn't happen without the Smith organization, and so of course they have their own booth here on the Patch Plateau, but it's actually very much like one of the more laid back displays you can find. They have this little sign here, and then it's just a garden with some placards you can read about their websites, their timeline, their events that they run, which apparently they've run like a talk show thing here that they called a community direct, like the Minecraft direct, but community-wise. Talk about their conventions. Smith apparently is like a data pack convention group. They're trying to keep things standardized so that people aren't like stepping on each other's toes as they're modding. There are a couple of groups at the event that are working towards a similar thing, compatibility. I think it's really cool. I honestly love that it's such a laid-back spot here for like the organizers of the event. And if we take a quick little jaunt down here as well, because we're going to have to wait for the hot air balloon to take us to the woodlands, we have the event schedule. This is where you can see every day there are different events running across the server. So today is Sunday, the 16th as I'm recording, which means that earlier today there were the GM4 module creation. Game Mode 4 is a group in the woodlands that works on vanilla modifications and improvements. And they were talking about how to make modules. And then advanced jigsaw structures for like world generation from Kanakarab, who does a lot of world gen stuff. They still have a masquerade map, porting packs, some vault playtesting and custom dimensions, stacking core shaders, oddities of Minecraft data packing, which sounds intriguing, designing an open world in Minecraft, the animated music performance of Furigama, which I will probably try and see, and then the closing ceremony for the event, because it closes on the 22nd. And these are all like big event spaces where you can all come up here, sit down on the beanbags with all the other people in the event shard, and they'll be up on stage real big and they'll be talking about stuff. There are various event locations throughout the convention. I think it's really cool putting stuff together like this, being able to like schedule out and attend things that you're interested in. Alrighty, let's see if I can catch the balloon here. Nary 20 seconds to spare. What a delight. You can see as you fly away, some of the display entities stop rendering. That's inevitable. I really love these quiet moments, getting to fly between the different regions. Look at the mountain, look out over everything you got to explore, plus what's waiting for you in the future. Alrighty, welcome to the Welded Woodlands, comprised of the ginkgo columns, the dark quarry, the autumnal woods, the new far forge, snowy gorge, and the dry forest. All around. The balloon brings you over to the snowy gorge, and I'm going to lead you straight to my favorite display entity in the entirety of the convention, which is right over here. The Omega Flowey Remastered booth. Which, look at him. He's up there. They have a Grillby's, this big old Flowey, and if you hop on down, you can try the demo out. And I'm gonna do this for the video, but this is where I got my trans soul balloon. I think it's pretty great. Alrighty, let's try it out. Reminder, this is vanilla Minecraft, just with data packs. Oh. I'm so not good at this. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh god. Act. Ow. Oh my god. Love. Bombs. Oh, fly. Oh. Ow. Ow. I was hoping it would, there we go, turn to yummy yummy food sooner. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh god. Oh. And that's the end of the demo. It tosses you up here with however well you succeeded. You can get some bonus hats if you grab 6 or more healing items and get hit 9 times or less. It's really cool. There's a little spectator section you can go down to, and apparently, here's the model history. It used to just be blocks, and then switching to display entities. That looks crazy good, I think. It's really awesome. This was definitely a standout for me. My personal favorites in the Welded Woodlands are down here in the new Farforge. We have Vanilla Tweaks, which is something I actually didn't know about. It's collections of resource packs and data packs that add little changes to Minecraft that you can install modularly. So there's stuff like being able to strip wood on a... oh man, stonecutter? There we go. Vanilla graves. I do not want that. And down below, one of my personal favorite additions should be over here. Aha! Accurate map colors. I do not like vanilla maps, but I love Minecraft maps. So I want them to have more colors, more variety, and be more detailed. Nice Name actually did a video about that. And then Game Mode 4 is much the same. They have a little section here where they don't actually show off what they do all too well, in my opinion. But the whole concept of Game Mode 4 is to make little modular data packs that change Minecraft in interesting ways. And then they have some very cool stuff here as well, like a point-and-click adventure game where you can go here and actually play it. That seems to be not working right now. I did play it a little bit when I was first here. And then downstairs they have a puzzle game called Evergrowth, where you have to shove these boxes around to get through the wall. It's cool stuff. Although I'm mostly interested in the data packs. Another personal favorite I have, not necessarily the booth itself, but what they're doing, is I really love, I don't even know how they accomplish this, but a fair number of booths have like custom sky boxes that they set up for like the interior of their booths. So like if I walk over here, you can see that this is just glass. It should be looking out over the summit, but instead it's this lovely like neon disco landscape. And I love this stuff, like tiny little bits of color, like making glowing stairs and vast expanses. Really add a lot and brought this whole thing together. As much as I love vanilla building, I think that like skyboxes and little touches really add a lot. There's also this cute cat. Here's the Welded Woodlands info booth here. Talk about setting the style, how it was built, taking shape. Shows off its roller coaster cart, as well as you can grab some bundles, your shirt, and you can step into one of the many lifts that are around the region. And even down here it shows off the various birds. So before I was talking about data packs that are just mods but redone and changed a little bit. Well, here's Machines of Steam, also known as Create. It adds all sorts of things like that, presses, and steam power, stuff like that. It's really impressive, like being able to do all of these things. Although there is one booth even later that I will be showing off that I think shows the most impressive changes to me personally. Here's the rope you can climb down. The geophilic display over here in BBB Lost's Garden is another personal favorite. It's a very calm area. It's just talking about how to design an interesting biome, what sorts of considerations you should have in place to make sure that they're interesting but not overwhelming or bloated or sort of disjointed from vanilla Minecraft. And there's all sorts of little bits, even if you head downstairs. There's some extra walls, like painting biomes. It's a nice walkthrough. I would highly recommend checking this one out. Plus you can get some alpine curry. Alrighty, here's the train to the Textured Tropics, the third and final section. Here we go. It's a much shorter train than you'd expect. Alrighty. Welcome to the Textured Tropics, the third and final section. Animated Java is up there. Sometimes you'll catch it doing something a little spicy. Alrighty. We're actually going to head right on up to Animated Java because I think they're my favorite or second favorite booth in the entirety of this section here. They have an animated... Yeah, look at it. Look at it. It's going crazy. That's inappropriate. Because they have a very interesting booth. They use metaphor to explain what their tool is by also giving you a nice little booth to play around in. You can get your hard hat. I'll toss mine on so that I don't knock my head off. So first things first, there's the boat. The boat brings in wood, and this is meant to be a metaphor for something. This is all a metaphor for creating animations in Java. But what we're going to do here is we'll hop on up into the crane, sit in the seat, and go ahead and grab one of these pieces of wood. Oh. There we go. Raise it on up. And bring it over here to this big old hopper, where it'll get deposited. And then push it through the wood chipper, and it makes these little figures here. Then I think the other person has already set this up, but you head on down into the mines, and you get a block benchium, I think it's called, or something like that. There we go. Scoop. Toss it on the conveyor belt. That will head on up here. Hit it with a big old hammer. Boom! And it gets sucked up by this pipe. And brought through here to make some molten block benchium, which you then pour onto your rig. And it flings it over here into this set of displays where you can color it. I'm going to make this one purple. Move it on. Give it some animation features. I'm going to make this one do this little jig. Pop. And then you export it. Puts in a nice little box, which you then bring on over here, set down, and it'll ship it out. It's really fun. I like that they toss this whole thing together. Again, vanilla Minecraft. And here you can see how many of those total rigs people have made and shipped out. Currently, Psyducky is in the lead with 684. Absolutely crazy. Switch back to my crown. And they even have an extra little secret here that they don't want you to know about, which is if you go through this little tunnel here, all the way up to the animated Java roof, you can be next to the animated Java itself. And I'm actually going to put my hard hat back on for a second. What are you doing? Freaky. And if you stand here, animated Java will pick you up and throw you across the island. All the way to the event schedule, but also near our next booth. And if we head on over here, this is a very unassuming booth. It's just a little temple sort of off the side of the map. Head down an elevator. But it's overly realistic. It's a data pack that's built around expanding the early game into like a Minecraft civilization thing, closer to vintage story, where you have to make your way through a difficult stone age, and then the copper age and iron age and further ages. You deal with skills that limit what you can be like good at. That way multiple people have to work together to be able to actually get stuff done. And it introduces a whole lot of like realism balancing stuff. I think it's really cool. Not every feature appeals to me, obviously, and it's not at all a vanilla-like experience, but just like such a big project from a data pack is really exciting. And then if we head upstairs here, we also have the classic mechanics data pack, which has some things that I like toggling on, and the whole thing is modifiable. Specifically in the block modules, I like the old sponge function where they just clear a 5x5x5 area wherever they're placed down constantly. In the mechanics modules, I like the old, some of the old combat stuff. Specifically, I like regeneration not being like boosted by saturation. I like when it's just a slow tick back. Mobs modules, I think I don't use any of. And then the cosmetic modules, I actually really like boat particles and void fog. So, yeah, it's a lot of interesting stuff in here. And you can even get a diamond sword that you can block with if you explore around. It's a lot of fun. And a huge personal favorite. This one here, I'm going to be just walking past, but this is Note Block Studio. It's the people who put all of the music together across the island on these various jukeboxes. This is the tool that they were using. It's a website or an app or something that lets you make music using Minecraft sounds, and then the data pack will play them in sequence to make your music. It's really cool, and I like that they were such a big part of putting everything together. Iconic tooltips is another teeny tiny one I'm not going to go too much into. It's just for making pretty tooltips that also contain some additional information. Alrighty. I talked before about how one of the data packs was the one that I found the most mechanically interesting. And that would be mechanization here. It's just a classic tech mod, something like Greg Tech, but in a data pack. And I need to emphasize this is something that's very particularly impressive to me, because you can't just directly make new blocks with data packs, at least not yet, as far as I understand. You can like modify pre-existing blocks, but let me just show you. We walk in over here. This is a nuclear reactor. You can interact with the machines to see what they're doing. So over here we have a casting basin using molten steel, an electric furnace making iron. The iron and coal are mixing together into the steel. More iron, liquefied coal. Over here we have a grinder grinding up uranium, pulling liquid experience from the enchanting station, using the uranium to make molten uranium, and then turning it into fuel rods, which are then being used to power everything in a centrifuge. It's crazy. There's so much weird stuff here, and it's just really impressive to see. Like, this is out of, I mean, it sounds like barrels. Like, this is a modified barrel. Crazy. Crazy. Awesome stuff. And they even have a little thing you can do here, which I am too afraid to do, where you build your own reactor. It gives you a little guide and you can build your own. But very cool. And right outside, this is my favorite introduction to any of the booths. So you'll notice that all of oh goodness. You'll notice that all of the booths are out in the open. They usually also have like their name on them. You walk up, you see it, and then you're like, oh, that's interesting, you come in. This section here, you run over it, you get a brush, you're like, wait, what was that? Oh, there's like a whole lot of sand here. Let me go ahead and do that. What is this? Oh! And it drops you straight into Enter the Bungeon, which is their booth here. It's a little, like, roguelike, I think, dungeon experience. And I just think that it's really cool being, like, confident enough to not advertise your booth at all, and in fact, straight up hide it. And then have it be something that you just fall into and experience. It's not the most exciting stuff for me, but just like presentation-wise, I think this is incredible. Oh, let's see if we can catch the ferry. Yes! Departing in 5 seconds. Perfect. So as we take this ferry back on to the Patched Plateau, I'm going to talk a bit about what the whole summit has been for me. Like I mentioned, I'm physically disabled, so I've never really been able to go to a convention before. Even though I have these like deep, passionate interests, I'm mostly locked to the internet where I can talk with strangers, but it's really not the same. Obviously, if you're someone who does like go to conventions and knows what it's like, then you'll know that like just talking with people online can't really replicate the feeling of like going to a booth and speaking with like a creator and seeing what they put together for like a display. And Minecraft has also been a really big part of my life, just like growing up. Not so much as to have it be like a huge part of my personality, but you know, I have a Minecraft skin that looks just like me. I commissioned a friend to make it. And it's really nice to be able to like attend something and enjoy my hobbies, my interests, see stuff that people are passionate about, get sort of more involved in those communities at an event that I can enjoy and attend safely and healthily. And it was also just really nice to be able to spend a few days with my partner doing this as well. Because we're not able to go out much, usually it's just a lot of like staying indoors, chatting, cuddling, stuff like that. And so being able to like go out and do something, it was a very unique, irreplaceable opportunity for me, and something that I'm hopeful to see again next year and be able to attend in 2027. Oh yeah, check this out, the bridge actually raises. Hang on. Should raise any second. Look at that. So yeah, it's really great to be able to engage in my hobbies and learn about new things and be part of a community as someone who's normally like never been able to do that. It's been a great experience, and I have one last thing all the way at the top to show you before we wrap this video. Alrighty, we'll take this right on back up where we came from, and I'll show you that last little bit. Alrighty. So, as I already showed, pretty close towards the beginning of this video, Smith are the people that put this together, the Smith Summit. They had their own display right at the top of the Patch Plateaus. But something you will notice that was absent from that was a list of the people who made the summit possible, like the people who organized it and held it together so that everyone could make their booths and have this whole thing come to life. But there's this little pipe over here. Whoa! And it brings you into the middle of the mountain. One of the rail cars actually goes through here. And you can see the whole display of the teams who made it possible here in the credits cave. You have the technical team, the coordination team, the art team, the gameplay team, and the community team. And a lot of these people have their own booths as well, or are in multiple teams. I just think it's really great being able to come through here and see all the different bits that have been sort of come together to make this event. So yeah, thank you to everyone here. And thank you all for watching. This has been something that I have had a lot of fun going to, and I hope it's something that you all found valuable watching and listening to, and maybe even going and experiencing for yourself. I'm gonna climb to the top of this here and give a proper goodbye. There we go. Oh, it actually goes higher over there. That's fine. Alrighty, well, thanks everyone for coming to watch the video. Leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you would like to see more, and I will see you next time. See ya. See ya. So, side note, I actually just attended the closing ceremony for Summit, and they have extended the duration of the event by a week. So it'll be open until August 29th. Go check it out if you haven't already.